everyone, we're just about to get started here. Welcome to Pricing and Discount Strategies for your ticket event. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes off the top. This webinar will be recorded and we will send out the recording tomorrow along with all of these slides if you'd like to look back at them. If you ever can't find them and the day after a webinar, you can also find all of our webinar recordings about 24 hours after the webinar on our website, TicketSignup.io. Just go to Knowledge Base and Webinars and Events. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, we will be monitoring questions. You can enter those in your GoToWebinar module. It is usually found on the right-hand side of your screen, and we'll respond there. If we don't answer any of your questions throughout the webinar, then we'll follow up with you afterwards. With that, I think we'll turn it over to Jake.
Sounds good. Thanks, Johanna. So I am Jake Unger. I'm part of the TicketSignup team. I'm joined by Elizabeth Delarova, who is our senior account manager on the TicketSignup team as well. And today's webinar, we're going to talk a little bit about the pricing and discount strategies for your ticket event. Excited to talk through this. I think it's a great topic. It's something that likely doesn't get talked about enough and really can have a big impact on your event and on your revenue for your event. Just a brief, quick agenda to give you an idea of what we're going to cover today. We'll talk about why pricing matters. We'll discuss some promotional pricing that you can include to increase sales, strategic pricing that can impact the traffic of your event, especially for those multi-day events or multi-timed events. Talk about upselling with merch and more, such as your add-ons, how you can turn attendees into ambassadors, and then we'll end it with ways that you can increase your revenue. And Elizabeth and I will kind of bounce back and forth on these topics as well. So why pricing matters? Outside of probably the two more obvious reasons, which is ensure that you cover your event costs, as well as providing opportunities that where you can increase your revenue. Beyond that, pricing, it can really help you encourage earlier ticket buying and better information for planning as well. Really by dictating the pricing, it can encourage that ticket buying and behaviors that your attendees and customers might have. It can drive sales for less popular tickets, whether it be days that are less attended or less in demand, if it's different ticket options that are less in demand, or even time slots that are less attended as well. And then it can also promote the sharing of your event with friends, family, and social networks.
All right, so I'm going to go through some promotions that we've seen from some of our customers, different things that they've done to increase their ticket sales. So this is a pretty obvious one, but you would be surprised how many events don't use this, and it's price increases. So obviously, depending on how much time you have between when you first start marketing your event and when the event actually happens, you might only be able to do one or two of these, but we recommend doing at least one. So it could be a $5 price increase from the first week that your tickets are on sale to when you have to raise it to your regular price up until the start of the event. But that's still enough incentive for somebody to act early and save some money. If they're buying 4 or 5 tickets, $5 a ticket is a pretty big discount. So if you send out an email or a social media blast that's saying, you have a deadline of next week to get the early bird price, that will get some earlier purchases in, and that can help you with your decisions that you're making about things like staffing, purchasing for your event. It'll just give you a better idea of how many people to expect a little bit sooner. We did a case study last fall on some of our Halloween haunt events that we have quite a few of, and we found that for those types of events, 59% of ticket purchasers bought in the last day before the event, or the night of the event that they attended, and only about 14% bought more than 5 days in advance. So obviously, if you can increase that 14% a little bit, you'll get more data and more information to work off of as you're planning your event. Another one, this is also a pretty obvious one that has a lot of different uses, but there's a lot of interesting ways you can use it for different marketing promotions. So we have a pretty flexible coupon feature that you can use, and one way that I've seen is to promote a specific night or time for your event. So if you have a multi-day event, it's useful to do different nights that might be like themed or something, and you can have a coupon code associated with those. If you're trying to sell the tickets for a certain night that maybe isn't selling as well, giving somebody 15% off or $5 off or whatever it may be can incentivize them to buy tickets for that night rather than one of your nights that's already pretty busy. We've also seen for different types of events, if you target a specific group of people, so we have here like a neighborhood association or students. I've also seen like police, fire, or like educators. Those different groups of people, you could create a coupon code and send that out to just them if you have some kind of special marketing list of those people or some other marketing channel. And that will encourage them to buy. And sometimes they all know each other, so they might come in a group together. And so that, again, incentivizes people to buy that maybe otherwise wouldn't. You can also use coupon codes to reward your sponsors or your vendors or your supporters if you're a nonprofit. You can use the coupon codes to give them a free entry if that's what they get with their sponsorship, or you can just give them a discount and say, share this with your friends and family because you're associated with putting on our event. We're going to give you 20% off. So a couple recommendations for coupons. The first one is to make them limited. So there's two main ways to do this, and I recommend doing either or both. Both certainly doesn't hurt. So you can do it by time or by quantity. So quantity would be there's only, 100 allowed uses of this coupon. So once we hit that 100, coupon's not going to work anymore. So move fast, make sure you use it before it runs out. And then time would be, we're only doing this promotion for this weekend. So like I saw one of my customers did the Father's Day weekend sale, and it was only available from Friday night of Father's Day weekend to the end of the day on Sunday. And so if you wanted to use that coupon, you had to buy during that period of time. The other good thing about limiting coupons, besides creating that urgency, is that you can prevent some coupon abuse. So if you don't want to have a coupon that's just available for indefinite period of time, if you're only trying to incentivize like for a certain night or for a certain period of time, because people will eventually realize like, oh, I can just keep using the same coupon. I can share it with my friends who maybe don't actually qualify for that promotion. So that's another good reason to limit your coupons. I also recommend doing coupon like limits because it'll prompt people to move fast. And again, that's going to help you with your decisions that you have to make in terms of staffing your event and knowing how many people you're going to expect for a certain night or a certain period of time during your event. And then down at the bottom here, we have the dashboard location. I forgot to point this out on the first of these slides, but this is actually showing you where you can go to set up each of these features that we're going to talk about today. So I just want to point that out. So we have a coupon pools feature. This is probably a not as well used feature as it should be. So this allows you to share coupons across events. So if you have multiple events with us that are set up on TicketSignup and that are all running, they don't even have to all be open at the same time, but maybe all within the same year or something. You can actually create a coupon pool in one of your events and then share it with other events so that you can use the same coupons over and over again. So for my example earlier of like a EMS or fire discount that you might want to offer, you can create one coupon for that that's good for all your events. So if you're marketing multiple events at the same time, or if there's some overlap between when you're marketing them, you can just have that one coupon, and that way you reduce confusion when you're putting that in your messaging so people know exactly what the code is. But my one thing with this is that you have to make sure that the coupon makes sense for that event, because otherwise, if you have things in the coupon pool and people are trying out coupons from one event on another event and it doesn't really make sense, they could potentially get a discount you don't want them to get if it's a shared coupon. So make sure you're intentional about what you put in those pools. This is a great feature that we offer on the coupon page. It's at the very bottom of the coupon setup page. So if you've missed it before, go look for it in your dashboard. And it's auto-applied coupon URLs. So You'll see over here on the right, there's an example, and that's kind of the easiest way to conceptualize this. So you'll see the coupon code itself is in the field where it says free entry. So that's the coupon code that I've already created. But below it is a link that was generated by me entering in that coupon code here on the coupon page. That link is what this event could share. And then when somebody clicks on this link, it would auto apply that coupon to their purchase. So when they get to that payment step of purchase, the coupon would already be entered in the coupon field, the discount would already be applied, and they don't have to type anything in or remember what the coupon code is or anything like that. So this is a great way to ensure that the coupons get used. So you, instead of just sharing a code, you're sharing this link, and that way it's always going to be applied if somebody clicks that link. And then it also reduces some customer support. So you're always going to have people who will email or call you and say, oh, like I knew you had that promotion going, but I forgot to apply my coupon. Like, can I still get my 15% back? And that can be kind of a pain because that either means telling them no or giving them a refund. So using these auto-applied links prevents all of that. And it really reduces your support if you're doing a lot of coupon marketing.
Great. So for events that might be multi-day events, such as your Halloween haunts, your festivals, holiday light shows, or even farm events, strategically setting your pricing can really have an impact on the traffic that you're driving to those days or time slots that you have available. So different types of customers are drawn to different days and time slots. Your breakdown of your specific event may be and likely different than what's shown here, but your biggest growth opportunity is really during those low demand nights and those low demand times with attendees who might not traditionally attend your events at all. So this here is an example of maybe what a Halloween type event may look at their business and kind of assess customer behaviors and who's likely to attend on certain nights and kind of drive to those time slots. So for example, for a Halloween haunt, the 6 p.m. attendees, right when they open those gates, those attendees, they're typically prompt and ready to go. These are usually your families that may have younger kids. They're trying to beat that rush later in the evening so they can get home and put the kids to bed, have dinner and such. They'll typically proceed through the attractions a little quicker. You also have your sale night attendees. So these might be attendees that are less bought into maybe a Halloween event. And they may only be coming out for, because the night's a discounted night and they feel like they're getting a deal. You have your midnight attendees. These might be less likely to be on time. These could be your older kids or young adults, more enthusiastic and could be less efficient at moving through the attractions like your 6 p.m. attendees are. You also have your charity nights. So these could be attendees that are invested in more of the cause rather than necessarily the event. They might not otherwise be looking to attend a Halloween haunt, and they also could be more unsure of what to expect. And then in this example here, you have your Halloween night as well. So these are your annual attendees with the Halloween tradition, teens that are tooled for trick-or-treating. So again, this is a good example of how an event might look at their attendees, the different nights that they have, who's likely to attend, and also help drive certain actions to some of those lower attended nights, and also provide that data to give them an idea of how to plan, not only in pricing, but also in staffing as well. So an example of night-based promotional pricing would be to reduce your pricing for a less popular day and time. So in this specific example, we have a Thursday and a Friday, and this event is discounting their Thursday by $10. So rather than the typical $35, they're offering their Thursday night for $25, likely because Thursday is their least attended night. So by offering that discount, it's incentivizing some folks to come on Thursday. It can also help even out maybe the rush on your Fridays and your Saturdays as well, because those nights you won't need to offer a discount because they're typically going to fill up no matter the price. You can also reduce the price on different time slots as well. So on the left-hand side here, it's showing your 8 p.m. and your 9 p.m. time slot, typically rush hour for these types of events. They have it priced at $25. And then they have their 10 p.m. slot priced at $20. So again, trying to even out the flow and the traffic and turn that parking lot throughout your event to help with, again, incentivizing to some of those lower in-demand ticket options. Our tools also give you the ability to add and call out those highlights. So if you look on those two event tiles, you'll see save on opening night. We have some really neat tools that can, again, call out some of those discounts in some of those theme nights. Some types of promotional nights that you could use on some of these slower nights. One would be food truck night. And I like this example because it's not necessarily price incentives. It's something that's making the night special without having to discount the price by adding the food trucks that, again, maybe are attracting some folks to that night that would be less attended. You can have a Hunt Forever, which would be an unlimited night. So where folks can get through those attractions unlimited times rather than the limited amounts that you would have on your busier nights. You could offer a buy one, get one night, EMS, first responder, or military, even teacher discounts as well for certain nights. And then you could also have fundraiser nights. We've seen this a lot, again, in the Halloween and haunt industry, where some of those lesser attended nights, a portion of the ticket price is going to a partnering nonprofit. So again, incentivizing some folks that maybe are tied into more of the cause than the actual event. Our reports and in tools and summary reports really give you the ability to strategize based off of the data that you have for your event. So we offer these quick view summary reports that really break down your check-ins and tickets sold by ticket. So just off of a quick dashboard view, you can see which of your days, your time slots, your different ticket options are maybe filling up quicker than others. So again, you can make those on the fly decisions for your event. We'll also give you those detailed downloads of every check-in and every time of those check-ins. So not only can you make those decisions, but it's also giving those timestamps as well, those folks that are coming through your event. You can make those better decisions for, again, staffing and capacity. So aside from just pricing, having this data year over year, it really helps you make those informed decisions on, your staffing. You don't want to overstaff, and you certainly don't want to understaff as well. So having the data available to you and your event helps you make those decisions. And then also able to discount those underutilized dates and times.
All right, so I'm going to talk through something that a lot of our customers do, and that's upsell different components of their event. So the first way that we see this, and it's the most common way, is through our store feature. So we have a store feature that works for all types of events. You can have a standalone store, which would be just a tab on your website that says store, and people can buy things out of your standalone store without even purchasing a ticket. And then you can also offer these items in your ticket purchasing path. And when you do that, people see it as an upsell because it's the second or third step of their ticket purchase. And so they haven't paid anything yet, they haven't seen their total yet, so they're more incentivized to add things because they haven't even gotten to the cart page yet. And depending on your event, you have a lot of options with the types of things you can offer here. So we've seen things like merch, so that would be t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, depending on if it's a nighttime event. We've seen glow sticks. For Christmas time events, we've also seen like those holiday light up necklaces that are Christmas themed. So different things like that go with whatever your event is are great ways to make a little extra money, because you can charge for those at a premium. Like you can charge $10 for a light necklace that maybe only costs you $2 to buy. We also have seen this used for different types of upsells that are not actually tangible merchandise items. So for example, some of our Halloween hunts or festivals have additional attractions or experiences that you can do once you're already in the event. And so you can offer these up front when somebody's buying their ticket, and they're more likely to add it on at that point than when they're already at the event. So it could be something like a extra tasting if you're doing like a beer festival, or a special super scary experience that not everyone gets access to, or even like a VIP upgrade can sometimes be a store purchase upsell. because it's something that you want to show later on in their ticket purchase path, and you want to spend some time explaining like what they get with that. So you can add a description on that item as they're going through and make them want to buy the VIP pass. So you can see some examples over here on the side of what it looks like for somebody to buy one of these merchandise items, and then also what it looks like in our app. So you can actually fulfill each individual experience or merch item within our check-in app. So at the event, you'll be able to keep track of exactly who has picked up or used their upselled item. So this is the store item setup in the dashboard. So you can see over on the right, I have entered my item's name and my price. We offer strike-through pricing for this. It's really just a display feature to make it look like somebody's getting a discounted price on the item. So the main price on the left, the $20 price, is the real price that you're going to be charging, but the strike-through price kind of indicates that it's a deal and encourages them to buy it. You can, like I said earlier, you can make it so that these items are only available with a ticket purchase, or you can offer them both in the ticket purchase path and on your standalone store on your website. One thing that's great about that standalone store is that even if I've already bought a ticket, I can come back to the event website and add on an experience or add on some merchandise after I've bought my ticket, but before I come to the event, if I change my mind and decide, maybe I do want to buy that after all. We have a ticket bundles feature that allows you to bundle store items to specific ticket types. So there's several different use cases for this, and there's actually quite a few features around this that make it pretty customizable to how you want it to work for your event. So you can see on the right over here, I have bought a ticket for Thursday, and included with that ticket, I get a free hayride pass, I get a hot cider ticket, and a corn maze finisher medal. But when I'm going through the purchase path, I also have to buy a priority parking pass if I'm going to park at the event. So you'll see that the hayride, the hot cider, and the finisher medal are all $0 items because they're actually included with my ticket purchase. So I didn't select those. Those just come with my ticket purchase. But the priority parking I am going to pay for because that's required for the event, and I am going to be bringing my car, so I need to pay that $15 for the parking fee. So that's an example of how you can use these ticket bundles to bundle, in this case, the hayride, the hot cider, and the finisher medal, and then still offer other upsells that are more optional for people, depending on how they're going to be experiencing your event. So you can do this with items that are like exclusive to the bundle and then charge a little bit more for those tickets. So you could say buy the VIP bundle and get the free hayride, or you could say everybody gets a free hayride and then just kind of bake the cost of that, whatever that is, into the price of your ticket. So like I said, very flexible feature that you can use to upsell people. This is what it looks like to set it up. So you'll see I'm selecting what tickets it applies to, and then I select what items come with those tickets. The bundled items, even if they have a price normally, are always going to be free when they're part of a ticket bundle. So like I said, you have to build the price of the item into the ticket price if you're going to be using this feature.
Great. We'll talk a little bit about how you can turn your attendees into ambassadors for your event. One way to do this would be through group discounts. So it's a way to incentivize your purchasers to buy multiple tickets together by discounting tickets based off of the number of tickets in a transaction. So a number of ways you can do this. This example here is showing how typical ticket cost for this, an adult ticket, would be $15. But they're also offering an incentive when you purchase 4 or more tickets. So think of this as like a family bundle, where if I am purchasing 4 tickets, that average ticket cost comes down from $15 to 12 tickets, or from $15 to $12. I've also seen this with some larger groups as well. So incentivizing some, large groups of 10 or more, and it'll automatically calculate that when you have it set up in the dashboard. So once they are purchasing that kind of threshold in that of number of tickets in that transaction, it'll automatically apply that discount into the pricing. Another great tool is our referral rewards program. So you can think of this as an incentive for your attendees and your ticket purchasers to share your event out, whether it be with family, with friends, or on social media as well. So the way that we do this is we use unique tracking links for each attendee that rewards those attendees who refer your event, and those folks that they're referring to are making a transaction. So what we found is our referral rewards program on average is 98 cents cost per action for each new ticket purchase that comes through referral rewards. So that's a pretty phenomenal return on investment in cost per action. Some of the keys to this is having a high enough refund or high enough reward. So some examples down below is, for example, 3 referrals maybe would amount to a $20 refund. 8 referrals maybe amounts to a $40 refund, and 20 referrals could be a branded sweatshirt. So there's lots of different ways you can do this, and a lot of it is dependent on your event, your ticket cost, and also kind of how you want to incentivize those folks. And another benefit of the referral rewards outside of just growing your revenue and attracting new folks to your event is to grow that funnel year over year. With the referral rewards, again, you're reaching sort of that new network of friends, family, social media, social network that maybe wouldn't have come across your event to begin with. So by offering a program like this, it helps you grow that funnel in email contacts year over year that you're now able to market out to for future events. So with the referral setup, you're setting a threshold for number of referrals and automatically refunding the referrer when they reach that referral threshold. So for example, I know it's a little small on the screen here, but the way this one was set up is after 5 referrals, they're going to refund the cost of the ticket, which is $20. So again, it's encouraging that social sharing of your event. It's promoting that group participation for your event, and also expanding that reach to maybe some new contacts that would not have come across your event to begin with. So the question that we get the most with referral rewards is what is that sweet spot? What we find is it needs to be a high enough reward that's actually motivating your attendees to share your event. So just by refunding them, a $5 reward might not be high enough or motivating enough for someone to share. So a reward of maybe $15 plus is sort of that sweet spot, and then also a high threshold that's difficult but not impossible for your attendees to reach. So having that 3 to 5 referral range as that threshold to earn that reward is typically that sweet spot. Again, if you have your rewards $10 if you refer 10 people, that might seem impossible and also not be a high enough reward to motivate me to go out and refer 10 people.
I would say you also have to market your referral rewards program pretty well in order to have the awareness to get good results from it. So if you are going to go down that road, make sure you're sending out emails regularly, encouraging people to share their links, because otherwise they're not going to know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So social media, letting people know on your social media that are coming across the event that, hey, there's referral programs available.
Yeah, and telling people that they have to use their link that came in their confirmation email. Just over communicate to see good results. So last couple of things, we're going to talk about some other general ways to increase your revenue. So one of them is on-site sales. So we have 2 ways that we encourage all of our events, no matter what type of event you are. You can be a small, dinner type event, or you can be a large multi-day festival event. The number one way that we recommend for any type of event is to have QR codes or some kind of link to your website that's posted around the actual event space or in your parking lot, whatever it may be, depending on what kind of space you're working with. And those QR codes would be links to your ticket purchase path or your store items, depending on what you're trying to sell. So if you think that there's a lot of people who are going to show up to the parking lot without having a ticket yet, you're going to want to market that ticket link so that they can buy their tickets before they even get to your gates. And that will decrease your lines at the gate, first of all. If it is like posted in the parking lot, by the time they get there, they'll have their tickets because they can just buy them on their own phones. But it'll also encourage people who are already in the event to maybe buy additional store items if you're offering those attractions like we talked about earlier, or additional merchandise items, and they can just buy it on their own phone. So you don't have to staff a ticket booth or a vendor table or anything like that. You can just have people buying things on their own devices. Almost everybody has a mobile smartphone at this point. The other way, if you are kind of a bigger event that has the capacity to do this, is to have an on-site ticket booth or merchandise table or whatever it may be. And if you do that, our ticket check-in app actually integrates with Square, so you can do on-site card and cash purchases at that ticket booth. So if you do have enough people to sort of warrant having a couple of people staffing that table, you can integrate with Square, have a Square reader out, and then have people walking up to you and buying their tickets or their store items on site that way by just tapping their card or giving you cash if you want to do cash. So the first way is obviously a lot more, streamlined and scalable depending on what size event you are. So even small events can do the QR code option, but a large event might need to use that Square integration. Since you probably have the staff anyway to do that. The app, like I said, it's really flexible app because you can do this purchasing, but you can also be checking people in. So because it automatically checks in new purchases that are made through the app, it's really easy to track how many people are actually walking through your gates and track new store item purchases. Everything shows up immediately in the app. So then as soon as somebody buys something at your merchandise table, you can hand them the item and it'll show it as fulfilled in the app. So it makes tracking all of that and accounting for how many people you actually had really easy.
Great. And I think the last slide that we have on pricing is just on ways to make more from processing fees. But before I dive into that, I'll talk through just what our standard pricing is, because it is a little bit different or a lot different than a lot of the other vendors that are out there. The big difference with our pricing is it's per transaction, not per ticket. A number of the other vendors that are out there, they're charging a processing fee and a service fee per ticket. So especially for events that are selling 3, 4, 5 tickets in a transaction, you're not going to get dinged 3, 4, 5 different times with our pricing. So our standard pricing is 6% plus $1, and that's per transaction. And because of our pricing being a little bit different, it allows you some flexibility where you can increase those standard processing fees to open up an opportunity for additional revenue. So attendees, that they are accustomed to processing fees, but a small addition to your processing fee can make a big difference in your margin. So the example that we have below, and again, it's going to be dependent on your event, but this example below is an event that sells 5,000 tickets, and each of their tickets are priced at $25. So what it's showing is by tacking on, whether it be an additional percent or an additional dollar amount per ticket, or a percent and dollar amount, it's adding in significant additional revenue to your event. I'll go through the first example here. So adding an additional 4%, which might sound high, an additional 4% to our processing fee. The processing fee per ticket is $3.50. That's not an additional $3.50. That's the total processing fee per ticket on a $25 ticket if you add in an additional 4%. And if you're an event that sells 5,000 tickets, just by adding that additional processing fee, that would open up and create an additional $5,000 in revenue. And you can see as it goes down this chart, some different options, some different ways you can do this. And $3.50 processing fee, it's not high. I'm going to a concert tonight, and I can promise you we paid much more than $3.50 on our processing fees for those tickets. And again, since our processing fees per transaction, not per ticket, when there's multiple tickets purchased, that processing fee per ticket actually goes down on the more tickets that are purchased in the transaction. So I think that's all we have as far as slides go. Johanna, I'll turn it over to you. I don't know if there's questions in the chat that you'd like us to run through for some Q&A.
Two that we can go over really quickly. One, you kind of answered in the presentation after this, but I think it'd be worth reiterating. If there is a way to do group promotion pricing to encourage people to buy tickets together.
Yeah, there is. So there's the way that we showed, which I call it volume pricing sometimes, but it is really group pricing. So that's when you can set in your ticket pricing settings that after X number of tickets, so let's say after 5 tickets are added to somebody's cart, the price per ticket goes down to $5 less than it otherwise would be. So that was the one example that we showed. And then there's also a feature that we didn't cover in this, I don't think, where you can do a cart discount. So if you spend a certain amount, you can have it set to automatically discount 10% or $10. So that's another way to incentivize groups, because it'll incentivize people to buy tickets together. And maybe all those people otherwise wouldn't be coming if they weren't buying tickets together to get the discount.
Second one, if we use the Square integration, is there a ticket sign up added commission on the cost of the tickets or merchandise that you're selling?
There's not. So if you have if you're using the Square integration, the processing fee that you'd be paid would be what you have set up with Square. So you would incur that processing fee, and that's all handled through Square. TicketSignup does not charge an additional fee on top of what you're already paying Square through that integration.
I think that's all we have coming in today. So I think that should be it. One more, sorry, last minute. Can I log cash tickets?
Yes, you can. So if you're selling tickets offline, no matter how, whether it's cash, check, you're handing out free tickets to sponsors, you can import tickets. It's in your dashboard. If you search import, you can find the page. So you can either import a CSV or you can do them like one by one manually. But yes, you can import cash tickets.
Or if you're doing them on site, you can do them through the Square integration and just use cash instead of actually running a card.
Yep.
Yeah. And what's great about logging those offline tickets, whether it's cash or check, is those will also count toward your caps too. So for events that have limited capacity on certain days or ticket types, when you're logging in those ticket imports, those will count toward your ticket caps, so you're not overselling a certain ticket or ticket group or ticket type.
All right, I think that time it really is it. So thank you, Jake and Elizabeth, and thank you guys for coming.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Don't touch me. What's going on here? Knock it off. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and want to see more, please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and then all. And if you'd like to click the thumbs up button, I would appreciate that way more than you clicking on me. What was that about? Did you just squeak?